Today I'm going to talk about one of the latest pickups I got to go along with my iPhone X. My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech, sneakers, and anything creative now. Needless to say, there is no 1/8 of an inch headphone jack in the iPhone X. These are just worthless. I mean, inevitably, I was kind of forced. I mean, I'm not doing a dongle. I'm sorry. You just dead that right there. So I was forced to grab a set of Bluetooth wireless headphones. Now, I've kind of been against the whole idea of Bluetooth wireless headsets, especially from the early Bluetooth stages, because the sound quality of Bluetooth, it wasn't up to par. Now we are on like what, Bluetooth 4.1, 4.2 or whatever. We've come a long way. We're on like what, the 4th generation of Bluetooth or so forth. Who knows? At the end of the day, it has improved. And that's what I'm going to talk about, because I'm an audiophile, or whatever the word is that they like to call people. Basically, my background is sound engineering. I'm big on sound. These are my favorite headphones. The Beyerdynamics D770 Pros, 80 ohms. These are professional. Like literally, you see studios, you see people in the studio, you're going to see this headphones a lot of the time. And they're very easy to tell because you'll see this gray cushion right here. And man, these are like pillows. These are like the best headphones. They're the most flat, truest, near field headphone monitors that you can have for your ears. You listen to truly what you're listening to. Now, with that being said, in the beginning when Beats first dropped and they were marketing the studio headphones as hear what they hear in the studio, but yet there was an exaggeration in bass and so forth. Like there was a market that they were aiming at, obviously, like hip hop heads, bass heavy, loud listeners. I had a little beef with the whole marketing scheme behind Beats. It was a Dre collaboration with Monster. Now Monster makes great cables. What my SM7B, this microphone, is plugged into is a Monster cable. I know Monster cables for quality and Monster cables. Studio talk, I'm sorry. This all comes full circle and it all ties into each other. As a sound engineer, why would I pay more for an exaggerated, man, I was like totally against the pricing behind the Beats, the whole, marketing behind it. Now, granted, it's a hustle, it's a grind, get your paper. Dre did well on it, and I can't knock that at all. I tell you this story just to tell you my background and why I was very leery and I stayed away from Beats headphones. Review, I'm not finna hype them up. I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is because I don't play when it comes to sound. With that being said, let's get into the review of the Beats X. I picked these up, and the reason why I picked these up, when it comes to Apple, obviously Apple acquired the company Beats, and the technology that are in these Beats, that W1 chip that Apple has, and seeing it demonstrated, hearing how it's supposed to work, it made the most sense. If you have a iOS device, even if you don't have an iOS device, these work. Trust me, I've tried it and I've used it. But if you have an iOS device, there's no reason you shouldn't, other than if you don't like what's being offered, but there's no reason you should grab a Bluetooth device that doesn't have that W1 chip, because that W1 chip is amazing. It's as simple as literally, you saw me sit down, I pressed the power button and it was already connected. I literally just had to hit play on my music and I was in there, you know what I mean? Listening to J. Cole, Window Pane. That's my favorite song on the album. I won't talk about any reviews of the album as a whole and so forth, but when it comes to Window Pane, that's my, I know, I'm just throwing in random points here and there. So that W1 chip is A1. Now when it comes to the pairing process, it's as simple as literally you turn on your Bluetooth device, and as soon as you look at your screen, you're gonna see this little notification pop up that says Beats X, and you just literally press connect. Now that's the first time you do it. After that, literally I just turn on my headphones, I hear the noise inside the earbuds, it lets me know that they're on, and I press play on my device and I'm good to go. How much more simpler do you want it? How much easier can it get? Like literally, Apple's killing the game with that W1 chip and that technology. I know that technology is only inside of like AirPods and the Beats, obviously, because now Apple owns them. Beats, do they still live up to the stigma that they're known for of bass heavy, exaggerated EQs and so forth? Or have Apple, being in the picture now, made a big change to that? Let's break it down. You get these are just typical earbuds, no extras or craziness about them now. And they have this flex cable right here, which is what's supposed to set them around your neck and keep them intact right here, boom. Also, they're magnetic, so they connect to each other. And this is typically how you're gonna wear them and how you're gonna deal with them. Now, they do have this flex cable, but it is foldable. They give you this little, I don't know what this is. The design behind this is, I don't think it's the best design for these headphones. And literally, like, watch me stick them in there. This is what I do. I'll get this loop like this. I'll stick them in. So, okay, that went in just fine. But now the hassle is getting this extra part in here. Now, these, you just end up trying to stuff them. You just end up just stuffing them in there. There's no like neat way to do it. I mean, now these cables are tangle free. Like literally, you're gonna pull them out, they're gonna pop, expand, and be ready to go. So I guess you don't have to worry about them being tangled, and I guess you kind of can treat them that way of just stuffing them in there. But maybe if it was a little bit bigger and the enclosure on the top would like seal close like magnetically or something, I think that would be a big improvement to this. This is just like some little cheap rubber, easily made silicone. Man, it's just nonsense. What I do is I just keep them around my neck and I call it a day that way. And if I have to, like say if I'm wearing a garment on top, I'll tuck them in and so forth. That's typically how I do them. But I mean, I'll keep the little, whatever you want to call that. Now the connectivity, we already talked about that, is A1, especially if you're using an iOS device. But even if you're not, they work well. Bluetooth them to my custom PC, and the same as well if you have an Android device, it'll work just fine. These are like universal Bluetooth headphones, but the fact that they have that W1 chip, if you're on iOS, makes it that much easier and smoother. What you get with these things, you get the regular buds, you get like, I think technically you get 4 pairs of tips, because you got the tips that are already on there and you got 3 extra ones. And you get 2 wing tip things, the little wing things that kind of add on to this, and they're supposed to help make them even more secure in your ear. Now to me, I look at those wingtips as someone who would need them, I guess if the fit isn't working for your ear, or if you tend to be a little more active. These aren't really for the active users. I tried the wingtips in the beginning, but ultimately I didn't need them. I just changed the tips on here to the more, these like silicone ones right here, and these work perfect. It's like regular earbuds. These are not sweat proof. These are not workout headphones. These are more casual lifestyle earbuds, period. Because if you get them wet, you're gonna destroy them. So why would you even try to work out in them? Some people might. Let's do that at your own risk. So you get the microphone up, down, and the thing right here. Now also you have these batteries. They're built into the cable right here. Now speaking of battery, let's talk about the life cycle of these. So these are advertised to have an 8-hour battery life, but the real marketing behind these and kicker, and it's also on the Power Beats 3, is something that's called, they call it fast field charging. Now say if you got them and you're getting ready to do something, you're on your way, at the end of the day, if they're low and you need a charge, if they're about to die, you literally can plug them up with the lightning cable for 5 minutes and get 2 hours of play. That's killer. Like, I literally ran into an instance where my battery was about to die. I didn't even have my lightning charger. I asked someone else that was around, hey, can I use the lightning cable for like 5 minutes? Literally put it on for 5 minutes, pulled it off, boom, it's good to go. I was set. So getting 2 hours out of 5 minutes of charging, like that, man, I mean, that right there is killer. Like 5 minutes, 2 hours. So you already know in the cell phone game how we are. We like quick charge, and it doesn't get any quicker than that. That little convenience that was put into there is A1, and even charging them completely to full is not long at all. So these charge very fast. That's another great convenience about these. Beats X is winning right there, okay? Now, the moment you all been waiting for. Let's talk about sound. The main reason you buy headphones is for sound. I was totally against Bluetooth audio for a very long time. I can say this honestly, is getting better. Now I'm gonna talk to you from consumer perspective. I'm not gonna get all technical and sound engineering. Maybe I'll do that on the second half of my audio review, but I'm just gonna say it like this. Are they exaggerated? Do they have extra bass and nonsense going on? Are these those beats that everyone think they are? No, I'm gonna tell you straight up, they are not. Actually, I was kind of like looking for a little bit of a bump in the bass, and it wasn't there. Now to say that, I mean, they have a good sound. I think these are marketed to everyone. This isn't just for your bass heavy lovers. If you're into just regular whatever, I don't know if you listen to classical or pop or whatever, like these headphones can get the job done. The sound on them is actually pretty good. I was actually surprised. What I did end up doing, because I said they're not like bass heavy or bass exaggerated on my iPhone, I'm like, you know, when I'm listening, J. Cole album had just dropped, I was trying to, you know, listen to it. I want to hear the bass in my ears a little bit, so I had to switch it to like the hip hop setting just to get a little bit more of that low end in there, which is cool because the fact that you have to go in and EQ it the way that you would want it, that is what a headphone should be. It should give you more of a, you know, flat response. Now these aren't perfect. It's Bluetooth audio, but honestly, for Bluetooth audio, I'm gonna say these work. Like, I don't miss having plugged in headphones. I can use these and get the same feel as if I'm using plugged in headphones. And then I'm super loving being wireless. Not having a wire or cable running all the way down to my device and I'm keeping it in my back pocket, not hitting it, not pulling it, not worrying about it disconnecting or anything. Like, I'm free. And also being able to have your device sit somewhere with it talking to your Bluetooth headsets and walk off. Like, as far as in my vicinity of where I'm at, I can walk all the way anywhere in this place and still have connectivity to my device. I've also been like out somewhere eating and had to walk away, go grab like straws and napkins somewhere and just had the headphones going, left the device, which I don't recommend because you know how it worked conveniently. So I think being wireless is a convenience, number one. The W1 chip, like hands down, that whole connectivity with your iPhone or iOS device, man, you win in there, Apple. I will give it to you, hat off. The fast fast charging or whatever they call it, 5 minutes for 2 hours of play. Like, come on, how can you beat that? I mean, it has a lightning cable, but think about it. If you're in the iOS ecosystem, you got lightning cables for days, no worries. If you're not, the one that they give you is the one you need to hold on to, but I mean, it has a USB on the other end. You can plug it into anything and get that 5 minute charge for that 2 hours. So the convenience is there, whether in iOS or outside of iOS. Now, as far as the design goes, I'm cool with it. I'm okay with this neck band and it's sitting around my neck. It doesn't bother me. It's comfortable. I don't even notice it. I can wear it around my neck for 8 to 10 hours without any issue. I'm not annoyed. They're light, they're not heavy, and you got the magnetic, and they literally find themselves. I never have to put them together and make them magnetize. They do it on their own. And when you're not using them, just literally hit the button right there. If you got them still in your ear, you'll hear the tone go off to let you know that they're off. Boom, done. Truth be told, I wanted the black, but these were on sale. That's another reason I grabbed them. They were on sale. I almost went with the blue ones, but bright blue, it's a cool color. It's not really mine. Like, if they had the red, I would have definitely copped that. Red is my favorite color, hands down. Go. So just to put this all quick in a nutshell, as a consumer, these are convenient, they're easy to use, especially with iOS. The sound in these is A1. Flipped it to the hip hop EQ. If you want to get the bass, leave it as is. If you want just a normal sound, they're pretty flat, they're pretty, they're natural. So Apple stepped in, they did the right thing with this Beats X. Instead of having it just be such a niche product, they're expanding it, and it makes so much sense. And shout out to just changing my opinion on the Beats, you know what I mean? I literally was anti-Beats for a long time, and for a while I would just look at those things, but I would never buy those. But here I am with a pair of Beats X around my neck, and I actually genuinely like them. As far as caveats, I really don't have much negative to say about them. I'm satisfied, like literally, and that's the honest truth. I'm not pushing this, I'm not this is a sponsor, you know what I mean? I'm being honest, like these headphones are great. And for Bluetooth, they actually have wowed me. I'm rambling too long, let me shut up. Smash that like button, smash that sub button. My name is CJ, this is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech, sneakers, anything creative. We on that journey to grow. Let's blow up the channel, share, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'm out.